Diamond dance on my teeth, 100 bands on my jeans. Got some niggas that's gone, pray my niggas get free.
Man, what it do? Young E-Class, Kites. We here with episode 12, and this episode about dealing with death. Dealing with death while you in jail. I ain't gonna lie, this a tough one, cause while I was locked up, I lost all my men while I was incarcerated. And it started soon as I went in. I was in for a couple of months when my best friend died, my best friend Dre. So I'ma just get into how we you know what I'm saying, how it transpired. And I know dudes that lost. I know one guy, he you know what I'm saying, fire happened and you know what I'm saying, his whole family died while we was locked up. It's tough, bro. You gotta think you in there and there ain't nothing you can do about it, bro. So yeah, let's get to it. Kites, episode 11, dealing with death. So one day, you know what I'm saying, I come out the cell, this after school, go get on the phone. I calls my mother. So I'm like, what's up, Mom? She like, hey, baby. Off the break, something went right. I know my mother. I know how she is. Normally she'd pick up the phone and be like, man, what you calling me for? I talked to you yesterday. My mother used to talk trash. My mother, she real. She from the street. She real live. You know what I'm saying? Long live, Mom. So she's like, hey, babe. So I was like, what's up? She's like, nothing. So I normally call my mother first, talk to her, make sure she good, then get her to do 3 ways for me before I call anybody else. So I was like, call such and such for me. I don't want to say a couple of these dudes' names, because some of these dudes went bad, and some of these dudes, some of them did for real. So I was like, call such and such for me. She was like, all right. So she clicked over to call him, but she stayed on the other line for a second before she clicked back over. So I'm like, hello? I'm like, yeah, I'm still here. I'm like, I thought you hung up. So he on the phone like, man, what's up, man? You all right? You? So he just keep asking me, am I all right? And I'm like, bro, what's up? What's up? And then, so we talk, we chop it up. I asked him, he let me know what's going on out there. Man, what shoes came out, what new music came out, whatever. So boom, I was like, all right, I'm gonna hit you back, Slim. So the phone hang up, I call my mother back. Then I asked her to call somebody else. And same thing, she was on the other line. And then when she clicked me in on the 3-way, he couldn't really hold his composure. He was like, bruh. So I'm like, what's up? So the phone hung up. My mother hung up on him. So I'm like, what happened? She was like, I don't know, his phone must have disconnected. I'm like, call him back. I'm like, what happened? So she said him and such got into it around Pembroke. That's out Suitland. So I'm like, this ain't right. Because neither one of them be around the G. Pembroke, that's 5,000, 5G. Neither one of them be around there. One of them be on the south side and one of them be in northeast. They don't even come to Maryland. So, but my mother didn't know that. My mother don't know where people from. So I'm like, something ain't right. So I'm like, call Breezy for me. That's sis. So I'm like, call Breezy for me. She called Breezy, same thing. She's still on the other line. Then but when she click over, I hang up and I call Breezy. So as soon as I called Breezy, Breezy picked up and she was like, I'm so sorry, bruh. I'm so sorry. So I'm like, sorry what? Sorry for what? She like, you don't know? And I'm like, what? And she like, your mother calling me on the other line. I'm like, no, what? She was like, Dre died. I was like, what? She was like, man, Dre died, bruh. She was like, I'm sorry, Dre died. It didn't really register in my head for real, for real. I was like, what you mean he died? She was like, yeah, they don't really know what happened, but like they found him, like he dead. I'm like, man, bro, I just talked to Dre. Like my mother about to bring Dre up here to see me. So she like, well, I'm like, man, I ain't, so I hang up. So I call my mother back. I'm like, Mom, Breezy said Dre died. And my mother was like, I told her not to say nothing. So I'm like, what you mean? I'm like, what you mean? So mind you, I was on my second day of trial. So my mother was trying to. She didn't want me to know the news because I was going to trial, and she didn't want that burden to be on me while I was at trial. Which she was right, cause like mentally, I was like ready to cop out, bro. I was ready to. The cop was life. Like I was about to cop out the first degree and just be like, man, F it for real, bro. Like mind you, Dre, that's my man. Like this his face right here. This his face. This is tombstone. Like Dre, that's my man. Like that's my brother. Like it, before like dudes was calling each other brothers when you know what I'm saying, when you say somebody your best friend, like that was the term. Like growing up, that was my best friend, my right hand man. Like before we was saying brothers, we was like, that's my right hand man, that's my best friend. Like I knew Dre. I was trying to picture how he felt. Like that's why I didn't believe it. So I'm like, what happened? What you mean he died? What happened? So nobody. That's what was making it worse. Nobody don't even know what happened. So you know what I'm saying? I called his mother. You know what I'm saying? Her composure is together, but she hurt. And like I once she said he was gone, like I jumped up. I fucking flipped the chair, beating the phone on the like. Till my hands started bleeding, bro. And the CO that was up there, like I said, she was like a mother to the unit. She was like, what's wrong? Like I was crying. And she was like, what's wrong? Like, what's wrong? And then she called my man out the cell, my man Weezy. You know what I'm saying? He came, wrapped his arms around me. Bro, I was ready to go. Like, I was ready to go. Like, whatever go meant at the time, I was ready for it. Like, I didn't care about nothing in that moment. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like I couldn't believe it. It just sit well with me. I was sick, bro. Like, and they took me to the cell. Like I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't picture him still. Like this my man, bro. This this how I met Drake. This how I met Drake. We was in like 5th grade. And they had, y'all remember like the square pieces in elementary school? Like, I think he took a bite out of it, but he was throwing up. He started throwing up. I ain't know him. So I walked over to him. I was like, hey. He was like, what's up? I was like, you gonna eat the rest of your pizza? I was like, you gonna eat the rest of your pizza? And he gave me a look like, bro, what the? He's like, oh man, you can have that junk, man. I take, I'm hungry. Like I take the pizza, crush that junk, and was like, man, thanks, bro. And I went about my business. So, I was walking that same day, and I seen him come out this house that's in front of the apartments, and I was like, hey, young. He was like, what's up? I was like, damn, you from? Yeah. I was like, you live right there? He's like, yeah, we just moved right here. I was like, oh, that's what's up. I'm like, yeah, I'm right here, blah, 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 blah. He said, man, yeah, he from around 16, from around Death Row, from around Southeast. So I was like, oh, yeah. So I'm like, yeah, I'm be around 13th Street, ain't too far, around there. So we just clicked. We just was talking. But one thing I loved about Slim, bruh, Like, I didn't even know he had stayed back, so he's a year older than me. But when we was in 5th grade, he was an adult, like, mentally. Like, I remember one time I went over his house and he called his mother Marlo. I was like, who? I'm like, that's your mother? I'm like, Marlo. He's like, yeah, that's her name. I'm like, nigga, you call your mother by her first name? What the? I couldn't imagine doing that in my household. I remember one time we was in the back of the house. We used to rap, bang on the con rap. He pulled out a pack of cigarettes. I was like, that's what my mother be doing. Like, I never understood why she clapped the cigarettes. He pulled out the cigarette. He put the cigarette out, lighted it. We in the 5th grade. We in the 5th grade, bro. I'm like, what you smoking? He like, man, I be stressing. I'm like, bro, what? I'm like, no, this he said he be stressing. But I'm just amazed, though, because he doing stuff that my parents and my older cousins doing. How he walk, like, the way he walk. Like, I used to look at him, and I learned to laugh from him, bro. I just was like, he doing what my cousins do, but he my age. Like, I remember one time we was on a bike, one of the mongooses, the trick bikes. He was standing on the pegs, we riding around, and we rode through somebody's neighborhood. Mind you, I ended up getting cool with the neighborhood and the guy that did this, what I'm about to tell y'all. We go through the neighborhood, Slim like, where y'all from? So I'm about to say it, but Dre like, man, after that, man, don't say nothing to him. So I'm like, oh, Slim whips out the dog. I'm like, oh, so, no. I was standing on the pegs. Dre was riding. Because when he whipped out the dog, I was like, go. Dre's like, man, I ain't going nowhere. What's up? I'm like, this crazy. I'm like, bruh. He like, man, what's up? So Slim like, man, where y'all from? So he like, man, I ain't going nowhere. So I was like, I jumped on the pigs. Pew! I was out of there, bro. Man, I ran straight home. I ran directly, no stopping, nowhere, the same pace, home. I ran straight home. And I ain't see him till the next day. I was like, you alive? Like, bro. Like, but that was him. Like from since we was young, he was fearful. Like, I remember we got into it with adults. He like, man, I'm about to steal him. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna get my cousins. He pops off. He get crushed, face this big. But he come outside like, what's up? Like, and I just used to admire that, like, cause me, I'ma think my way through it to make it look like I didn't back out, but I'm not about to rumble this dude. Like, he gonna rumble him head on every time, win, lose, or draw. He ain't care. He going head first. He crashing out. That's what he was on. So as you know what I'm saying, as we got a little older, we just like we used to be on the phone all the time. Cause he a part of how I got my nickname, how I got Elmo. Him and Renee. What's up, Renee? Shout out Renee. I don't know if you be watching. Shout out Renee Love. She the one that really gave me the nickname, and Drake ran with it. And, it was because of my voice. So back in the day when we was young as these days don't know nothing about this. Like, boys couldn't call girls' house. Like, their father or mother would pick up the phone and be like, who was this? Excuse me. Like, who was this? So we used to call, I called Dre called Renee on three-way, and she'd call the girls for us because Renee mother was cool, and she knew it was like, she ain't tripping about it. So one day, Renee was like, Elmo, your voice so light, man. You could call a girl's house. They ain't even gonna know you a dude. So she was like, you sound like Elmo. And that's back when the Tickle Me Elmo came out. So everybody laughed. And Dre like, that's your name, Elmo. Here we go. He was so pressed when we had a nickname. Because we called him Pizza Man from when Blue Street came out. When he had the things in his head. And he's like, I got the pizza. Like living candy. He one day, he got some, y'all remember puff balls? When people used to get the rubber bands on their pussy, get puff balls? Yeah, he had some puff balls, and his teeth was messed up, so he looked like a Pizza Man. But yeah, that was and he wasn't with me the night that I got locked up. So he was out there hurting, Slim. And yeah, when I got that call, man, when I say I wasn't no good, Slim, when I say I went to trial the next day like a shell of myself, bro. I told my lawyer, like, man, I don't need a kid. Like, you know what I'm saying? I cop out or whatever. Like, he like, what? Mind you, my lawyer, Antonio Jones, and he said, I just gave him to my man Dope, beat both of his charges. Like, he Slim lights out. Like, Antonio Jones lights out. So he like, man, we ain't, plus that's his reputation. He ain't about to play like that. So, boom. So, you know, the funeral and stuff come. They send me the obituary. Like, they talk about me in the obituary, bro. That's what really healed me. They talked about me in the obituary, bro. Like, this man, life, he had families, he had brothers, and to mention me in the obituary, that was huge, bro. Oh, let me slide off that. But this the crazy part about it. Why that night, we watching the news, and they was talking about a shooting, and they said a teenager got shot in the head twice. And I'm looking, it's a rest in peace Dre shirt in the middle of the street. So I'm like, what the? So now, whomever this person is, I know him. They got Dre's shirt on. So I run, get on the phone, and I found out who it is. It's one of my little homies. Shorty's like, somebody was trying to get at somebody else, and he not really knowing how to maneuver. He jumped the gate. You know, you supposed to get low when them. He jumped the gate, and he caught two to the head. Man, Slim ain't been the same since. And the crazy part about it is, he the last person that was with Dre. So it's like, when people be trying to figure out what exactly happened, you can't even, he gone now. Like, Slim gone. Like, he caught two to the head. He out of there. Like, he not himself no more. He mentally not, you know what I'm saying? So that was tough, Slim. That was back to back, bruh. Like, that'll really take so much out of you in there, bruh. And it's like, if you don't got no strong support system, or if you don't got no genuine people around you, like, you will crash. Like, some dudes done crashed out. Some dudes done attacked the COs, attacked other convicts, killed themselves. Like, it's tough, it's hard, bro, to deal with that, and then you can't do nothing, bro. You can't do nothing. And I was walking around the unit like, where you from? Like, wondering, anybody that Dre was beefing with, if somebody was from that neighborhood, they getting crushed. They getting crushed. Where you from? Like, where you from? Like, man, I was not playing. So, my man Weezy was like, bro, you gotta calm down, bro. And then, yeah, I got hit Weezy. A situation happened with Weezy one time, like, you know what I'm saying? Something happened with his folks, and I happened to know the person that knew the person, so I got on the phone to, you know what I'm saying, put, you know what I'm saying, things together to make sure he was straight. And it's like, yeah, that's the part of the prison I don't really like talk about a lot. That's the part of jail that I don't talk about a lot. When you get on that phone, and after you deal with your first death, now you just dread getting on the phone. You like, I don't want no more news like that. Like, I don't want no more news. I don't even want to know what's going on out there no more. I'm gonna go ahead and stay in my bubble and cool, cause like what that took out of me, it was God's mercy the reason why I survived. And I ended up getting a mistrial on my first trial, so like that was like a, you know what I'm saying, that was a W. Like when I came back, everybody was like, yeah, cause we young. We thinking a mistrial, man, you about to go home. We like, yeah. So I come back, the whole unit going crazy. They like, you beat him like Rocky. BG was like, yo, what? I told you gonna beat him like Rocky. So they like, you about to go home? We asking CO, like, what they doing? I'm ATW. And then we, you know what I'm saying, look at the news, and they talking about trialing me again. I was like, Lord, I ain't gonna never get out this joke. So that could have been, that was like the best thing that could have happened in the moment of dealing with that back to back, man. And it was coming multiple, because I remember getting on the phone with Marion. Marion, he from around Detroit Park, him, Devoy, Howard. And Marion, that was my dog. And I remember getting on the phone, and he got the phone from my mother, and he was hurt that I was locked up. He was hurt, kept sending me on the news. He cried. He's like, bruh, man, I'm so disappointed. And then the next day I called my mother. She like, Marion died. I'm like, how? He got in a car accident. Like, she said his truck hit something, and he flew out the truck, and then the truck flipped and landed on him. I'm like, I am not getting on the phone no more all year, bro. Like, it's tough, man. It's tough dealing with it, young. It's tough dealing. It's tough, man. I seen dudes, brothers get killed right hand. Man, this the worst thing I ever seen. This the worst thing I ever seen when it comes to dealing with death. And I'm going to fast forward just for a moment to up the road. It was a little dude in there. It was a little dude from, he was from Baltimore. He was a blood too. So one night, they locked the jail down. So they stopped the dudes from passing out the newspapers. And so we like trying to figure out what's going on. They went and locked dude up. They went and locked him up, put the car in front of his door, and took him. So when they did that, then they passed out the newspapers. Because basically Slim was a rat, and it was on the front of the Baltimore Sun Journal. And not only that, the people he told on, this when that blood stuff was going on out of Baltimore, dudes went in this house and killed this whole family. Killed his mother, his little brother, his little sister. Man, they deleted everybody. And they got him up out of there. And I was like, bruh, that's crazy. Like, no remorse for, like, Slim telling, but can you imagine, like, your whole family getting wiped out and for something you did? Bruh. Yeah, but I don't want to hang on this topic too long because it's a little heavy. I ain't gonna lie, man. Rest in peace, my man Dre. Like, I love Slim to death. That was my dog. That was my dog. His mother, my mother, you know. His little brother, my little brother. Yeah, we're gonna rock it like that. Young E-Class Kites. What's this, episode 12? Episode 12, count. Man, make sure y'all subscribe to my YouTube channel. Young E-Class Kites is dropping real soon. Hit that button.